All right. Let me go ahead and get into it here. All right, let me get everything open up and we'll get started. Go Tits, indeed. Always sound advice. Okay, go ahead and get started here with draft for game one. Oh, that's not right. Okay. Go ahead and look at the draft for game one. This series was played last night, so this is after the fact. But we'll go ahead and get it through. PSS, no surprise here. Pretty much 3 or 4 bands directed directly at Seaman Omas. Go figure. Lots of ADC and mid lane bands on the other side. I'm actually not 100% sure who this for. I want to say Human Bane, I think, is their mid laner, but I'm not 100% on that. We'll take a look. Amumu first pick, always a classic in Beer League. And Matt Jarvan, great combo starter for a team comp. Jinx Lulu, again, another classic here in the Beer League. And then the Renata to go with the Jarvan and the MF. That is an interesting choice. I don't think it's bad necessarily. The Renata ulti is obviously really good setup. If you can Renata ulti into the into the Jarvan ulti. Doesn't really have a great hypercarry to put the revive on, but maybe the rest of what she does is enough. Mel Reflect, very good pick for the Misfortune and the Renata, so I like that a lot. In the Scion, you have the interesting choosing the blind pick. Choosing the blind pick top lane, even though they're on red side, they save a mid last pick for mid, which is interesting, especially because they end up picking Morgana anyway. Yeah, that's going to be Trundle against Scion, so yeah, and then I guess Morgana mid last pick for Team Tits. Yeah, that's definitely something you don't have to pick. You don't have to save that for last pick. You can pick it earlier. That's one of the advantages of it, is that you can just pick it whenever. You don't have to like hide it. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. Gotta slap some people around a little bit. There we go. Oh, just one. That was nice enough. PSS kind of struggling to get out of the fountain on time. It's like a solo queue game over here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
GG's on last series, man. Yeah, you too. It was. I don't remember which role you were playing, but I remember you on the roster sheet. So, or on the I don't know what you call it. The top. Oh, were you the top laner? Oh, okay. You were the guy that refused to interact with me the entire series. Got it. Honestly, that was a smart call. I agree with the strategy. It just didn't work out for you. So that's just unfortunate. And yes, Stone, we do indeed have a Morgana mid once again. That's the way top lane goes. Not always. Sometimes you get to actually have fun in top lane. But me and Mr. Ty basically both just AFK farmed for 20 minutes and hoped that our other 4 players won the game. It was frustrating. I didn't really want to pick the champions I was picking, but I kind of had to, because I knew if I picked like Renekton or something, you would still do the same thing and I'd be useless. So I had to just pick a scaling champion and hope it worked. But hopefully someone will cast the game before the patch. on Wednesday. I have been... Nightmare said he might end up doing it, so we'll see. Both junglers going to be starting topside here. Mumu Clear going to be quite a bit faster than Jarvan at first, I would imagine. I can cast it tomorrow if no one does. Yeah, we'll let you know. I know Nightmare said he was planning to do it, but we shall see. Sometimes people say they're going to cast the game, and then it doesn't end up happening. So, ask me how I know. So far, really not much in the way of early action. Both junglers content to pull clear. Ooh, I said no early action, but there Trundle gets a solo kill on Sign in the top lane. Opts to save his flash because he realized he was dead, so... Good decision on his part, even though he died. Is he going to be able to finish pushing the wave, though? No, so... Ideally, if you die, but you still press the wave, it's probably okay on Sion, but not quite able to do it there. Nice Mumu gang over the wall, gonna land on the Misfortune. She's got the bailout on her, but not blowing her sums probably until it's too late. Is she end up going down? No. Pat Jones, my boy Pat Jones, has he been in the league this? Has he been on this team the whole time? I don't remember seeing him, but I've missed my boy Pat Jones. Yes, nice counter kick there. Is able to save his bot lane. First game for him? Okay, that's what I thought. Like, I feel like I would remember seeing Pat Jones, but that is indeed his first game. The best jungler, definitely. Don't judge me based on these games. Oh boy. Bit of a fight's gonna break out here in the river. Pat Jones gonna get collapsed on. It's CC chain gonna come going down before Morgana's able to help. Now will she go down as well? No, she actually has to end up having to flash over the wall. I'm already seeing a mistake. Hold it. Gotta point this out. Seaman Amas, play Morgana mid. Great, awesome, I approve. Didn't take Black Shield level 4. Sometimes you can get away with that. But you're against an Amumu and a Mel. Take the Black Shield. You have feet. Yeah, you also had Flash until you had to use it because you didn't have Black Shield. But yes, if CC really isn't a factor early game, you can skip it, but I would just get it. It's just really useful to have in case you get ganked or a skirmish breaks out or something. Definitely save it to level 4. Don't get it level 3 except in very specific matchups. But yes, definitely should have it. I don't think I took it to level 7. Yeah, that is definitely a bit later than you would like to have it. Meanwhile, Sion would like to fight this Trundle a bit later because he's kind of getting his ass beat right now. And yeah, that's kind of how that goes. That's really strong. There he is! I was wondering where Eric was. Welcome to the stream, Eric. We will indeed see some Sunfire this game. Looks like we're going to see one per team. so you're gonna get a lot of use out of that emote. And Team TITS gonna go ahead and grab first dragon here pretty easily with really no contest. I thought about having Benson make a no Sunfire emote as well, where it's just like Sunfire, but with like a no entry sign over it. But I know no one except he would use it, so I didn't bother. Sadly, my disdain for Sunfire is not shared among the beer league community. That's why they like to make fun of me. Except for Nunya. Nunya's the one person who would agree with me that Sunfire sucks. That's about it. Slammer BLS power rankings when? Hey, I mean, now would be a good time. My team's gonna finally be moving up instead of down. That'd be nice. And it's gonna be a kill in the top lane, but able to kill the Trundle in return. You'll take that. You only built Sunfire this game because it wasn't being casted. For what it's worth, both of the champions building Sunfire this game are fine to build Sunfire. It's when champs like I don't know, like Malphite and stuff are building it that I don't like. I may not ever build Sunfire, but it still might go as long as Slamrai hates it. Indeed. Yes, thank you, Eric. Giving away PM too many solo kills. I also agree with that. A Fed Trundle's really tough to deal with. What else is really tough to deal with is that a Mumu ulti, and Jarvis is gonna have to flash over the wall to escape. And now all of Team TITS is here. They should be able to get. Oh, they actually. Team TITS did manage to get one more Grubs where they had to escape. One of the Grubs where they had to escape the pit. So obviously still good for PSS, but they at least, they do get the Monster Hunter credit, and they did get the whatever the combat credit one is. I don't even remember what it's called at the moment. I'm blanking really hard. Theater Warfare, that's what it's called. Random hero just joined the stream here to hear Slam flaming his build. Hey, I didn't flame the build. I said Sunfire's fine in this situation. I think if you're a jungler, you're a tank jungler, Sunfire's fine. I think if you're like a tank top, and you're building Sunfire first, that's also fine. Don't let me catch you building Sunfire second, though, on any champion. Let's go through each player's rune choices and find something to flame them about. I mean, we could. Let's see, we're going to have the right secondary runes. He does! Other than Scorch. But Scorch is fine. You can take Scorch if you want. Alright. Let's see if there's any other ones here. Everything else looks pretty standard. Aftershock on Amu instead of Conqueror. That's more just a personal preference thing. I think going Aftershock is fine. Beyond that, yeah. Well, okay, hold on. Lethal Tempo Jarvan is an interesting choice. I actually don't hate it. I've seen it before. But it is definitely an interesting choice. I will give him that. Sorry for not being shed enough. I do see Jinx going in for Collector first, though, which is interesting. Is that a thing now? Do people go Collector first on Jinx? It's fine. They're both going Collector first. As long as neither one of them goes Rapid Fire Cannon second, I will be happy. But if they do, I'm going to flame them. So we'll see if we get that far. Direct the Camera really wants to follow this bot lane for some reason. So far, about a 1.5k gold lead here for Team PSS. mostly in the mid lane, or largely in the mid lane. Not surprising. Mel's obviously a much stronger early laner than Morgana is, so that'll happen. TITS gonna go ahead and move in here on the dragon, but their support's not here, so they're a little vulnerable at the moment. But Morgana is off pushing mid lane, so she's not actually here to help contest this. And the jungler's not here either. Jungler's top lane, so yeah, they should be able to just get this, no problem. They're gonna get a gank off on the Trundle. Ooh, unfortunately misses the EQ and gonna have to pop the ulti on Trundle. And oh no, and he jukes the Sion. Okay, they do end up getting him, but that was a little messier than it probably should have been. I'm gonna build rapid fire every game now. There you go. I mean, please do. It'll give me more material to talk about during casts. J4 Sion there. Yeah, that was kind of a goofy play, but in the end, they did get the Trundle, so. I'm noticing no Dark Seal for either mid laner. These are both definitely mid laners that should try to get Dark Seal early. However, I'm blapping while there's a dive happening in the bot lane, so I'm going to go ahead and back up and see this. Renata's sitting on her tower very, very low. Gonna go ahead and try to dive right here. Ooh, using the E picks to go ahead and hit her and stop the recall. And now Amumu's here in the back. The Renata ult is coming not quite in time to save her, but then the MF bolt comes out. It's going to be enough to finish off Amumu. The other two able to escape out of the tower in time. Honestly, if Neth had ulted a little bit sooner, that could have probably been a disastrous play for PSS, but it just didn't quite line up that way. That has stabilized the gold lead, though. It's only about 200 gold difference now. Ooh. Simino Moss manages to reflect or to shield his own block shield his own Morgana Q, which is good reflexes there by him. Meanwhile, another gank here in the top lane, but this Trundle's pretty strong. He might be able to fight this off. He's going to go ahead and fight him off for a little bit and then flash away. That he will escape.
Turret plating will soon fall.
And then a bit of a roam by the Mel to help him get out. Yeah, ganking Trundle could be risky business because he can fight people off 1v2 if he's strong enough. So, I mean, any champion can, but you know what I mean. I could have sworn they just saw Amumu clear this ward, so they're really not playing careful for the fact that Amumu's here. But Amumu gotta be impatient. I'm not really sure what exactly he's waiting for. Maybe for someone to face check into this bush? Would you say he's beating them off? No, he's fighting them off. Beating them off is a whole different thing. Now they're going to go ahead and push the tower here, but they do see him this time, so they're just going to go ahead and back off. I'd really like to see Morgana going for the all-in here. Hold on, let me just go back and see this. So, whenever you're playing Morgana mid and you have your ulti, you should be ulting right now and walking in on this guy, 100%. Like, if he has to flash to get out of range to get out of your ulti, that's fine. Like, that's 100% a kill if you just ult and go in there. So, now you know. But yeah, the Morgana ulti does crazy damage. It's like 600 damage if you land both halves of it. So, these people keep stepping up on you like that when you have ulti, you gotta punish them. Especially these mages. Black shield yourself, ult them to walk in. Meanwhile, another gank in the top lane. Unfortunately, Pat Jones ulting Trundle kind of keeps Sion from getting into the fight. And that will be enough to allow Trundle to escape the gank once again. But now they said, hold on, not so fast. They're going to go ahead and... Ooh. Going to go ahead and dive him under the tower here. They should be able to get him, even if Amumu comes. And they will indeed get him. So, they're really focusing this Trundle hard after his strong early game. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Okay, I'm gonna have to talk about that in just a second. Yeah, so obviously this ends up being a very good fight here for the PSS bot lane being a double kill. Sorry, let's talk about this. Okay, so Renata is being really aggressive here, which is fine. MF's got both sums. So when you're... Alright, let me make sure I do this right. So your Renata lands this. This is You need to be on hard if you're MF right here, because right now your support is taking all the aggro. And I get why you ulted here to try to kill the Lulu, but the threat is the Jinx, right? So you need to turn and pop this Jinx, not this Lulu. So, yeah. If your support's taking all the aggro in lane, you need to go crazy as the AD carry and make them back off your support. So, in the end, they don't use either of their defensive sums. If they had played that a little bit better and used those sums, they probably end up winning that. So, just point that out. I'm not trying to flame anybody, but this is the B League Light, right? So, there are going to be some mistakes like that are worth being teaching moments, I guess. MF should have ulted Lulu when her Q hit. Yeah, also that. Yeah, it was a little bit... I've noticed Stitch is a little bit... his reaction to what's been going on right in front of him is a little bit delayed on these ultis. And it has... I think it's cost him a little bit. So, be a little more decisive going for these plays, I think. However... is Rift Herald up? Who got Rift Herald? Oh, TITS got Rift Herald. Okay, so we still have no feats of strength yet, so it'll come down to whoever gets the third objective. And they're both at 1 apiece right now. So whoever gets this dragon here will get the feats of strength for this game. I definitely think you have the advantage for this if you have Team TITS, because you have all this AoE with Sion and Jarvan and MF, and you can just deny them positioning on the dragon. Bit of a fight break out here early. Oh, MF takes too much damage and not able to get the bailout to reset. Now the rest of TITS is here, but it's probably too late. Amumu's in the back. And yeah, just nice collapse by Team PSS. I mean, the Sion's doing a lot here, but look how tanky the Sion is. And he ends up going down last, which is really not what you want if you're a tank. If you're going down last in a team fight as a tank, either your carries got caught, which sometimes happens, or you weren't playing aggressively enough in the team fight. Like, I think, like, let's go back and look at the beginning of this again. So, fights here, this is good. When MF is getting focused here, you need to be going in hard right here as Sign. You need to get these carries to back up. And I'm not, honestly, MF got caught here too as well, so it's not really your fault. But there's no point in chasing the Lulu when you're a Scion, right? The Lulu's not the threat. The carries are the threat. Go on them. So, there you go. More flaming from Slammer Jack. Trying to tell people how to play the game. Morgana just useless. Yeah, I mean, you know, problem exists between keyboard and chair or something? I don't know. In the hands of Simi? I mean, maybe, yeah. But in the end, that is a 1-team fight for Team Piss and Dragon, and that will be feat strength as well. Now, this Trundle is going to be very annoying in the side lane now because he's got that Titanic Hydra, so he can turbo push these waves. So they're going to have to keep someone on him pretty much non-stop for the rest of the game, which is really annoying because you kind of need Sion to help you team fight. So that if you're Trundle, you want to keep the Sion away from his team as much as possible because they need him to frontline for them. Because if you and him are both there, your team still has a Mumu for frontline. So if it's 4v4, I think that's in your favor. But that, however, was not in your favor. Very unfortunate pathing by Lulu. Gonna get caught out by the binding there. Morgana didn't look pretty useless there, I'll tell you that. I think a League of Legends should be 5 backline champs versus 5 backline champs. I mean, that's what fucking solo queue is like a lot of the time. 2 ADCs and 3 assassins per team. Alright, Trundle trying to get a split push on, but ends up getting caught out. Nice flash, though. He might be able to actually survive this. Okay, no, he will definitely not survive this. And ends up going down to the MF ulti. Very good. I see MF did go the Infinity Edge second. That is correct. Looks like, or Jinx did. It looks like MF is doing the same thing. Meanwhile, Morgana kind of catching out Amumu in their jungle here, but now she's going to get caught up by the rest of the team. And she's gonna be able to escape here? I don't think so. No. So it ends up being a 1-for-1. Needs more Sunfires in this game. There you go. Lulu should get a Sunfire. Needs to get in there. For Jarvan Sunfire, you cook them while they're in the circle. We're going to see a bit of a side tower trade here between both teams. Very pro-style play. They do have the Rift Herald here for TITS, though, so that will obviously give them a bit of the advantage in terms of pushing. Gold lead about 1.5K for PSS. Still a very close game. Piss Boys have a Mumu and Trundle. Indeed, they do. And yes, both ADCs did go the correct items, so very good. Leave some low skill chance for me, dog? Hell no. And Mel, Jinx, and Lulu. Yeah, get Sunfire for everybody. Let's have one 10-man mosh pit, all 10 champions with Sunfire Cape, duking it out. Not admit that would be kind of hilarious. Mel is the Amumu of the mid lane. Ooh. Morgana gets a little bit caught out here, ends up getting a decent ulti off, but not quite taking enough to survive all that Tingle turning on him. And now Jarvan tries to help, but ends up being too late. And now the rest of Team TITS is slowly filing in. MF walking right by the Amumu, which is really not where you want to be. Ends up actually, I'm not sure how he managed to escape that situation, but he doesn't die, so that's good. Did that reflect the Renata ulti? Is that what happened? I didn't even see that. Yeah, it did. Okay, smart. Forces the Renata out of the fight. Fair enough. Yeah, Sion here, very hard to kill, but his team's already kind of in trouble by the time he shows up, so he's not able to frontline. He's not really able to frontline for his team because they're already dead. And meanwhile, Trundle doing Trundle things is, oh, you left lane, I'm going to take 2 towers, thank you very much. He's gonna rotate over mid and take that as well. They should be able to get Trundle here, right? I don't know where the Morgana Q went. It did not land on the Trundle, however. The Renata ulti will take him off. Is they're gonna be able to finish him off here? They will. They will get him. Now Jinx in a very precarious spot, but might be able to escape. Especially, yeah, with Lulu there, she should be fine. Yeah, about a 3K gold lead here for... No, 4K gold lead here for PSS now. They're in a great spot. Mid and bot are combined 9-0, so they're doing well, good, but they got big shutdowns. Mel equals ballots. I get this distinct impression that Fusro is not a Mel enjoyer. Something about his words in chat makes you think he doesn't appreciate Mel as a champion. Attack speed boots for Trundle is wild, by the way. I definitely think he's probably have Merc Treads, but I think it's fine. If you can get away with it, that attack speed is really nice. So that is going to be another dragon over for PSS. That's up to 3 now, so they're at Soul Point with the gold lead as well. Team's kind of jockeying around the Otacon, but Sion not here, so they need to back off until he arrives to have any chance of winning this fight. And in this situation, you never want to be the one that starts Otacon. You want to let them start it and then engage because it shreds all the resistances and stuff. Sion's going to go ahead and ult again, lands the ulti on the Renata, or on the Jinx, and she ends up Jarvan follow up engage, but lots of response in return. They don't even end up getting her, and she ends up surviving. And now the rest, however, TITS is going to end up winning the fight despite that because they had used so many resources. Well, actually, no, they didn't end up winning the fight because Mel is kind of just like pressing Q on everybody. Okay, so I was so focused on what was happening to Jinx, I didn't see the rest of the team fight. So, I guess they go, and then Jarvan tries to go to help Sion. Morgana is in, ends up getting CC'd a little bit, has the ulti, gets the ulti off before she goes down, but now, reflects a lot of MF damage that managed to save Mel's life here. And now they kind of hang around when they're low. Yeah. If you have the range disadvantage and you're a squishy against a Mel, you gotta back off. You just can't get in on that. So it looked like a good fight at the start for Team TITS by landing the engage on the Jinx, but not quite able to finish her off. Honestly, if they weren't as behind as they are, that's probably a phenomenal team fight for them. But I misjudged the Mel range. Yeah, it's longer than you'd think. Giggity. But yeah. Neither team ends up taking Otacon. Yeah, great engage by Sion, unfortunately. Not quite able to win the team fight, though. Don't you dot me. You named your team Team Tits. Glass House's friend. They're going to go ahead and engage here on the Sion, which is probably not what they want. If you're absorbing all the CCS Sion, you're doing your job. Unfortunately, someone else who's also doing their job is the Trundle down in the bot lane. Okay, I wouldn't let me click there for a second. And obviously, no one here can really stop him without help of a tower, so he's just going ahead and force off the Morgana and get this into him, no problem. It was Pat Jones' idea, classic. Yeah, blame the sub. Ooh, another reflected Renata ulti down by the Otacon. And you're fighting without Morgana and Trundle, which is probably still not in your favor unless you get a phenomenal MF ulti. Not a bad MF ulti so far, but now they're going in. The Renata ulti ends up getting reflected again. Somehow it doesn't hit some MF there. I'm not sure how that happens. Sion's going to go ahead and revive and turn. And he can still keep taking for a while thanks to that, but all of that AoE damage coming in from the Jinx rockets, and those really hurt when she's got the Runons in the Infinity Edge, and now Team Tits has to run. And Sion's going to go ahead and cut him off, and he's going to go down. And that's going to be another kill for the Mel. Sheesh. This is the thing about Mel, is that because of like her execute passes and stuff, once she starts getting kills, she really starts getting kills. Like the kills just keep piling up. Which is why you should have a Dark Seal. But I digress. Team PSS going to go ahead and move down here on the Baron. They are fairly low, though. Maybe they could do something. Unfortunately, Morgana doesn't have Flash Rush. She can probably just jump in here and kill them. PSS is able to end up securing the Baron, but now Sion's on their face, and that's really not where you want to have your Sion. And now Morgana's trying to get in. Ooh, nice flash by Sion, able to get on the Jinx, and now Amumu trying to escape. Ooh, and doesn't quite land the Q because because he just misses the Q, unfortunately. And now Sion's gonna go ahead and ulti. I mean, this Sion is a force of nature. Like, but yeah, this Sion is super duper strong. They don't have a great answer for him yet. They're just having a hard time fighting with him around and good positioning. So, yeah, they. Wait a minute, hold on. Sion's still the Baron? I thought Jinx got the Baron. Am I stupid? Oh, Morgana stole the Baron. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, the pool just ends up getting it. Okay. I didn't even notice that. Okay, damn. Well, that was a really good play by the Morgana then, other than the Q's missing parts we already talked about. But, you know, I think stealing the Baron kind of makes up for it, so good job. And they have kind of round him and stealing the Baron, so great job there for Team Tits and for Morgana. This side has more kills than deaths, has no idea how to play Sion. True. Dude is clueless. I would like to see a bit more MR from him. Because they have the Amumu and the Mel and the Trundle ulti. There's a lot of magic damage coming his way, so I'd like to see like a Spirit Visage in here somewhere. Good play with Morgana, press W and run around like a chicken. Hey, you know what? It's not your fault they didn't secure the Baron. Okay, you put the W down, and they didn't secure Baron. They got out DPS by your W. I've stolen Barons like that. That's not your fault. You did what you were supposed to do. Or a Force of Nature. Yeah, that would be good too. Visage is probably better just because it synergizes with the shield and all the healing you're doing from Unending Despair, but I think Force of Nature would be fine as well. Honestly, I feel like people forget that Force of Nature exists. I almost never see anyone build it. They always prefer the other two. They always prefer Kanik or Spirit Visage over it. But you literally called him a Force of Nature? He is. I don't think Force of Nature will maybe battle him at all. TBH. And Trundle's go ahead and TP bot for some reason. I guess because he wants to pelt pressure for this near his team for this dragon, which is fine. I guess it is Dragon Soul, so I don't mind him being here, although he ends up TPing into a very dangerous spot and ends up going down. So yeah, I hate the TP, actually. I don't mind the TP to help his team, but TP over here where your teammates are. Now the fight's kind of breaking out here, going in on Morgana, ends up getting her, but now the rest of the Team TITS is here, and they do have the Baron buff, so Scion and Jarvan going in, and this Scion is incredibly tanky. 5,000 health, 288 armor. They just have to run. The PSS didn't take the Dragon while they had a chance. Yeah. I think they were fucking around a little too much, didn't secure the Dragon Soul, so that will delay their win condition a little bit here. So that will be dragging over to Team TITS here. Nice, very unfortunate TP by Trundle. I would have liked to have seen him just TP over here with his team, so that collapse didn't happen. I also wouldn't have minded him just TPing top and pressuring there, but I guess when it's Dragon Soul, you'd probably rather be there with your team, right? So I don't mind the TP, just TP to a better spot. Now, Team TITS going to go ahead and move here on Otacon, but they don't actually have their carries here yet, so this goes really slow. And they need their carries to hurry up. Morgana is farming the super minions in the base, and they see her doing that, so this is a very dangerous spot for Team TITS. And PSS realizes what's happening, they're going to go in. If we get a really killer Trundle Pillar here to stop them from disengaging, no, it doesn't quite have it. He hasn't used it yet. Now Morgana's going to TP in, and now the fight's going to break out, but Jinx is going to go ahead and get the resets. And this Scion is tanky, but he's not that tanky, and now it's a triple kill for Jinx. Triple kill for Jinx, and they're going to go ahead and run down the MF. The kill for the Trundle, and then finishing off the Scion, and whoo! Yep. Yeah, that was a very bad Otacon call for Team TITS right there, I'm afraid. Starting Otacon when you're outnumbered is a death sentence. Just don't do it. Ever. Even if you can TP in. That Otacon shreds you so hard. And great job by Team PSS realizing the mistake was made. And rushing in there and forcing a play as quickly as possible. So well done to them, and I assume this will be them taking game one here, barring something unexpected. It is not, so there you go. That will be Team PSS taking game one. It was back and forth the whole way. Honestly, some fairly big macro mistakes from both teams late in the game, but in the end, the Otacon call was a bigger macro mistake, so that's tough. It's whoever makes the last mistake usually loses in these kind of games, right? So that is tough. All right. And that will do it here for game one. Let me go ahead and get game two ready to go. Jinx hyper goes wild. Yeah, that kind of got out of control. Let me find the do the one I want. Damn you. There we go. Okay. Comms go away when you're on a gray screen. Can you imagine? That would be awful. So let's go ahead and switch the game two draft here. They do switch sides with me, which they like to do. All right, and we'll give PSS their one win here. All right, look at the draft here for game two. Very similar bans to the last game. No surprise there. Simino Moss eats like 4 bans a game. Smolder first pick for Team TITS. That's an interesting choice. I don't know if Smolder's a pick I would build a team comp around this early on, but that's what they're going to opt to do. PSS locking in the Sejuani without any melee champ so far. Very interesting early pick so far in this draft. Aphelios coming out for PSS. Aphelios is an interesting champion because I think if you're really, really good at Aphelios and you can get past his like crazy early game, or if you can get past his like vulnerable early game and scale, Aphelios is fucking crazy. Like this champion puts out damage like no other champion I've ever seen. So if you can like get to like that 3-item point on Aphelios and keep him protected, you can win any game. But he's obviously really hard to play. Not a lot of people play him. So I'm always a bit of an raised eyebrow whenever I see him, but I do think he is a cool champion. He also inspired the 200 years meme for Riot, for anyone who remembers that. Anyway, enough blabbling. Team TITS going to go with Blitzcrank and Akali, so it's going to be a Smolder Blitzcrank lane. Not a lot of synergy there, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. And the Akali, forcing me to Mossy, does get his favorite champion. So that should be fun. Good assassin pick against this Aphelios there. That's definitely what you want. You want someone that can get on him. Victor, counter pick for PSS. Victor, very good against Akali for the most part, so I like that pick. And then the Janna to go with the team to help peel off the Akali. I like that a lot. Obviously, if you can knock the Akali away once she's on you, that makes it a lot easier to keep her at bay. So very good. Team TITS, go ahead and lock in the Volley Bear. Going to be jungle, presumably, and then Malphite, top lane, blind pick. I don't like that. You already see Victor, and you don't see their top laner, so you're basically inviting them to pick an AP top laner, which is exactly what happens. PSS locked up the comp with Mordekaiser. I really like this Mordekaiser pick. Obviously, it's good against Malphite 1v1, but it'll be good against this team as well. You can ult the Volley Bear to get him off your back line. You can ult the Akali to get her off your back line. You can ult the Smolder and 1v1 him in the Death Realm. You can ult the Blitzcrank to save yourself. Like, every target here is a good target for Mordekaiser, so I really like this pick for PSS. But ultimately, this is why they play the games. So we'll go ahead and get into game 2 and see what happens. If I can find it. Do you need me to find it for you? No, I got it. I found it. I didn't have it quite up, but I figured it out. Oh, that's not what I want. All right. Oh, that's new. Could change minimap and I think that's new. Huh. Minimap frame? Oh, that's why it looked different. The frame was off. Huh. And the settings button? Interesting. Yeah, I thank you, Tyler. I figured out that it was the one where you played Akali. I appreciate it.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Thank you. Yes, this is indeed the one. Ooh, go get the flash hook here. Or Blitzcrank gonna get the Sejuani flash in return. They might still get her, actually, and they will. And that's gonna be a first blood over to Akali right away. Nice extra 300 gold in her pocket. Would have preferred it in the old days when it was 400 gold, but yeah, it's still nice. You can get your booties.
Minions have spawned.
That minimap not having the frame was really bugging me, so I'm glad I just happened to stumble upon that feature there to see that. So that's nice. What other ones are here? Still callouts, chat, objective timers. Huh. Yeah, this target frame? Ooh. Chat. Yeah, I see that. Settings button. Huh. Alright. That's neat. That is a new thingy. Both junglers are going to go ahead and start bot side. Sejuani needs to be a little bit careful early on because she does not have her flash. Ooh, lands the E somehow past the minion on Victor. It's going to do a ton of damage early on. That Akali E is where a lot of the burst damage comes from, so you gotta hide behind minions, not get hit by that stuff. Oh, interesting. We're going to see the approach velocity Mordekaiser build this time around. I know this has been a thing that people started doing. It kind of is useless early on. You don't really get any secondary runes until you get it to turn on, but once you have Rylai's, basically no one can get away from you, so there's a lot of upside. I think you could probably get away with it against Malphite. Malphite's a pretty weak early laner. You don't need the resolve tree. So, I like it. That reminds me, I need to do a rune check. Does anyone have any really sus runes here? We do have the Conqueror Akali, but against a tanky team, I think it's fine. I probably still would have preferred Electrocute against Aphelios and Victor just to help burst him, but I think Conquer is fine. Lethal Temple Volleybar, that is a very aggressive Maroon page. You're hoping you get in melee and stay in there for a long time, so we'll see if that... It can work, it has great upside, but I don't know if you'll be able to actually stay in melee that long against this team, so we'll see. Meanwhile, a bit of an all-in coming out here in the bot lane. No flash for the Blitzcrank because the level 1 invade, so he ends up going down. Meanwhile, gank coming up here in the top lane by Sejuani, but now the counter gank coming here, but... Hold it. Was that the legendary zero distance flash by Pat Jones? Go ahead and see. He's coming to try to help, and he flashes in place, but luckily still gets the range to land the stun on the Sejuani. I don't even know how that happens mechanically, but in the end it was fine. So nice counter gank there by Pat Jones. I do see Sejuani is going for the Sunfire Cape early on, or at least the Bombies. Now, given the enemy team she's up against, she's up against Volibear, she's up against Akali, she's up against Malphite, she should get the MR version, even though she's the jungler. Just because you need the MR against all this AP damage. So we'll see if he ends up getting that if he gets the regular Sunfire. But it's one of those cases where you got to be aware of what you're up against and alter your build a little bit. And same with Malphite on the other side, but it's a little bit more obvious because he's against Mordekaiser, so. Oops, is that your way of saying that you don't end up getting the magic resist one? Morzane, are you the Sejuani? Spoiler alert. I am, okay. Gotcha. Well, that's why I said it. Got a 200 goal lead here, 14 TITS here in the early game. Taking note for next game. Yeah, if there's that's basically if you're against an AP jungler and at least one AP laner, I think you go the MR one, in my opinion, on a tank jungler, if you're gonna go Sunfire. So you don't really need the armor to clear the jungle, right? You're fine. It's just you want it for whoever you're fighting and tanking. So, and Smolder is not enough of a threat early that you need armor, right? So. Victor is going for the Roa build, which is the correct call in this situation. You can get away with a squishier build against like another mage, but against an assassin like Akali, you definitely want that extra HP. So, Mordekaiser are all going to come in, but a little late, and Malphite should be fine. Yeah, because he's able to get in the tower, and he has ulti here as well, so yeah, he's totally fine. I don't think he gets him either way. I think Malphite would have survived, but that definitely sealed it. The ult's coming in just a little late. So far, Malphite actually doing a great job of hanging in there in this matchup, because this is really not a favorable matchup for Malphite. But he's got a CS. So part of it is because he's had jungle help, but still. Victor W comes out a little bit early, and now Akali can probably go in here. Indeed, he will. Go ahead, pop the ulti and lands the E. It doesn't have the damage to actually finish him off, though. Ooh, no, doesn't have enough. I don't think she had enough. Did she not have enough energy for the Q? Is that what happened? Yep, didn't quite have enough energy for the Q to finish him off. And Bolivar is going to be able to come here and help, but not able to get the victory either. Nice W, and that buys enough time for the Sejuani here. So flash auto didn't hit. Ooh, yep, that's tough. I hate when that happens. It's tough. And that will be the feat of warfare going over for PSS here. Yeah, that was a. I think I'm assuming that the volleybar suddenly showing up in the middle of that play. Yeah, you had to rush the dive a little bit faster than you wanted to, right? And it's easy to not quite mechanically execute the way you're hoping to. Malphite going to go ahead and actually go in here on the Mordekaiser and going to force him out of lane here. So, okay, not really the expected outcome, but probably not quite able to tower dive him, though, unless the jungler comes to help. They don't, oh, hold on. There's fighting going on here in the pit. Sejuani is doing these grubs, but Team TITS figures it out, and they're on the way. And their PSS mid laner is there at his tower, so Sejuani's on her own for the moment. She does not have Q or flash. She has no way to get over this tower. Wait, did she fail flash the wall? Is that what happened? Hold on. She has flash. And... oh! I feel ya. I feel ya. We've all been there. Happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Does end up getting 2 of the grubs, though, so that will be Monster Slayer, that mark of Monster Slayer over for his team, at least. And worry not, I could tell you from playing in Masters that Masters players still fuck up their flashes over the wall a lot more often than you would expect. So, don't feel too bad, it happens to everybody. You even see it in a pro game once in a while. Very close early game here, though. Kali kind of getting beat up, has to back out, but got the Blitzcrank here. Ooh, that hook somehow does not hit. I don't think it would have mattered if it did hit, but it does not hit. But yeah, only about a 200 gold lead here. Even on Monster Slayer as well, so no one really close to any... yeah, no one really close to any of these towers. I think only 1 plate taken so far between all 3 lanes, which very passive early game here in the first 10 minutes in terms of lane pressure. Okay, so hold on. Let me talk about this. This is a very Mordekaiser specific mechanic, but let me explain this. So, when you hold on, let me make sure the right spot so I can pause and explain this, because this is actually very important to know if you play Mordekaiser. Okay. The way Mordekaiser ult works is that obviously it creates the death from circle, right? And where the circle is placed depends on where Mordekaiser is relative to the enemy champion. So, what will normally happen is it'll be Mordekaiser at the back edge, and then the enemy champion in front of him, and then further back is room for there to run, right? So, in this scenario right here, if Mordekaiser ults at this moment, the Death Realm will be way back here. So Malphite has to run away from his turret to try to get away from Mordekaiser, right? But because he's able to get back on the other side before the ult goes down, now the ulti circle is over here, and Malphite's able to walk to safety. So that's just a fun fact for you to know for anyone who is both playing or against Mordekaiser. You can also flash ult on Mord, which is a fun thing to do. So you can like ult someone and then flash behind them, and then the circle will appear as if you ulted them from behind. I've never found a way to use that in game, but it is an interesting idea. So, but yeah, I don't know if he would have been able to get the ulti off in time before Mordekaiser went through him, or before Malphite went on the other side of him again. But it was just a good example to show what I was talking about. So that's why I did it. And I go on that whole rant here because I am a longtime Mordekaiser enjoyer, so now you know. Go ahead. Ooh, blitz, nice blitz hook on Janna over the wall. She's gonna have to go ahead and. Well, actually, she managed to escape without having to use. I guess she uses heal, but I don't need to have flash. Slammer giving out free coaching, dude. All my coaching is free. I've coached so many people for free. I am happy to coach anyone on mostly top lane stuff because that's the lane that I think coaching is the most important. But I have coached a few different people in the beer league in top lane, so including one member of Team Rock. I won't say who it is. Speaking of teams, terrible transition. PSS gonna move in here on the dragon, but then the TP comes, so it's a 4v4. Both top laners in top lane. They both have TP as well. I'm not sure who I favor more here with both top players being away. I guess they're both not that strong. So yeah, they're both kind of just jockeying her position at the moment. I'd say probably Blitzcrank has the advantage. The Blitzcrank team has the advantage here because they could just keep looking for hooks at low commitment, right? And if they land one, they fight, and if they don't, they just back off. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to go ahead. They're scared of the blitz, so they end up backing off. A colleague on the backline trying to see if she can get him some shenanigans. Able to buy some time with the Shroud. So decide not to take the Shuriken, probably a good call. Hook goes out, not quite able to land, but TITS is able to go ahead and finish off the Dragon before PSS is able to get in. But now, Blitzcrank ends up getting hit by the Sejuani ulti and going down, and now Akali's going in on the backline, but she ends up getting hit by the I think that was the Sejuani ultimate. Ends up getting CC locked. Now Mordekaiser is here, ends up TPing in to help his team, so even though they lost the Dragon, they do end up winning the team fight 4-1. And yeah, Malphite, I think, was in the middle of a reset. That's why he did not TP to that fight. So yeah, good for Team TITS to get the Dragon there. Fortunately, they weren't able to get out after, but sometimes that's how it goes. And yeah, still really no one even close to first tower in any lane. So... And both at 2 stacks of... Well, no, actually, no. I guess they have 2 stacks of Monster Hunter, so... we shall see. It could still be a while before we see a tower go down, unless a jungler kills some lanes and pushes them to the tower with them. None of these champs are particularly good at killing towers and pressuring towers, so... Unless you kill the lane opponent, you're probably not going to get to pressure it. PSS is going to go ahead and move on to the Rift Herald here while Akali is resetting. They should be able to get this no problem. Mordekaiser are going to go for Malphite here. Gets the ulti off. A little bit earlier ulti would have been better, but it should be fine. Actually, Malphite able to stall for time, able to ult over the bush to the wall, and he should be able to survive here. If he might have to use flash, but he will end up surviving. But now the rest of our Team TITS is here, but they are on numbers, so they got to kind of kite this out a little bit. Akali doing a lot of damage though, as they're taking down the Sejuani, who got the Rift Herald. PSS does get the Rift Herald, but Akali does manage to take down Volibear before trying to escape. Or the Sejuani before trying to escape, rather. Meanwhile, there's a fight again in the bot lane as well. Ooh, Akali's able to take down the Mordekaiser and keep going. So well played by the Akali, by the Rift Herald pit. Ooh, nice hook on the Janna. Ults the Blitzcrank into the tower, which I get what he was going for, but that just kind of leaves your support without the help of the Janna ulti, which he definitely needs. He's going to end up going down. Double kill for the Smolder. Stack check on the Smolder, by the way, 111. Decent pace for 15 minutes. Hell yeah, I get to ban someone. Hold on. Goodbye, bot. It wasn't a person, it was a bot. Don't worry about it. Gold's still dead even, though. Only about a 200 gold difference between... Actually, no, 0 gold difference between this team. Very close game so far. And both teams on 1 stack of Monster Slayer as well. So whoever, again, like a repeat of last game, whoever gets this this third dragon here will end up getting the well, actually no, because the tower has not gone down yet. Malphite, no, he won't be able to get this either. I don't remember who got Feudal Warfare. I think PSS did, I want to say. Was it PSS? Yes, PSS got Feudal Warfare, so they have a chance to get the thingy here, or to get the Feudal Warfare here if they can secure this dragon. Mordekaiser has reached that Royal Ice Crystal Scepter, so now he's got his approach velocity online. Yeah, that's a really big power spike for him, plus the free boots as well. So the early game kind of power trough from that rune set he has made it through. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the Rift Trail here in the mid lane. I would have liked to have seen this saved a little bit longer, so you can use that to pressure the lane while also pressuring the dragon, but it might be close enough that it still works. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen maybe like another 15-second throw it mid lane and then pressure dragon. But maybe it's fine the way they did it, honestly. They're going to keep going. Kali ends up getting big chunked and has to back off. Can use the Sejuani ult on him to get to CC on him, has to leave. And Kali's going to go ahead and TP here to the Dragon Pit. And they're down the Sejuani ulti. That's a lot of their CC. And now PSS kind of split up here, and Mordekaiser are not around. So PSS needs to be careful. Malphite's here. Is he going to land a nice 2-man ulti on them? Does pull the ulti. Victor able to get out of it, though. And Sejuani ends up getting hooked, so she's going to go down. But now Mordekaiser's here is going to pop the ulti on Smolder. And Smolder has flash, so I feel like he can probably flash over the wall and be safe. But no, he ends up getting run down by the approach velocity Mordekaiser. And now, while that's happening, the rest of the fight breaks out, and Ern as Volibear tries to dive, and once Mordekaiser ults, he switches his target over to the Aphelios. Sanda's already used her ultimate, cannot get the Volibear off. And Volibear's just gonna keep on mauling the backline there, and really not enough resistance. I think Jano's probably a little too quick trigger on the ulti, probably should have held it a bit longer. But ends up being a good fight for Team TITS despite losing their AD carry. And this will be third dragon for them, so they're in a great spot for this game. And they're going to go ahead and get first tower here as well. So that will secure Piece of Strength as soon as this dragon is done. And indeed it... No? Am I dumb? Oh, because they already got first tower here. Got it. So the PSS already had it because they got first tower in mid lane with the Rift Herald. That's right. You know what? I actually agree with the Rift Herald decision then, looking back on it, because they got feats of strength out of it. So never mind. I wasn't thinking about that. But good job to the PSS shot caller there for realizing that. I don't know if that's why he did it, but it was a good result. So good job. Sucks about losing the third dragon though, because now Team TITS is already on Soul Point, less than 20 minutes into the game. Not ideal. Ooh, nice juke by Victor to dodge the Blitzcrank hook. Says you can't hit it. You suck. And he was right. Sorry, Papa Greg. Did manage to juke it? It was Human Bane's call. Take tower fast. Well, there you go. Good job, Human Bane. Malphite gonna go ahead and solo kill a Mordekaiser in the top lane. What is happening? Why is Mordekaiser losing this 1v1? Someone please explain. I mean, I get that he's low here, but why is he low in the first place? So he ends up pulling in a tower. Nice ulti right into tower, but does Mordekaiser just end up winning this? Oh, very early W by Mordekaiser, so Malphite's just going to wait for the shield to run out. Doesn't quite wait the full distance, but ends up waiting out enough of it to land the ulti of his own, and then wins the 1v1. And so very early W by Mordekaiser, but he might have been down enough that he had to do that in terms of HP. So, yeah, great solo kill by Malphite in the top lane. This is not a matchup he should be winning at this point in the game, but there he is. Malphite does end up getting cleaned up by the Sejuani, but you want to push your wave after you get a kill. Sometimes you get punished. That's just top lane.
Okay.
I'm still not seeing Darksteel on either one of these mid laners, though, and they both really should have it, so I'm going to have to yell at you guys again. If you're an AP mid laner, get your Darkseals. Just trust me on this. The amount of games you win by stacking up a Darksteel during the mid game, getting all that extra AP for 350 gold, just trust me. It's worth delaying your build a little bit. Meanwhile, actually, Victor has a 2-level lead on Akali. I'm not sure she could even 1v1 him even if the jungler wasn't here. He is very tanky. Does end up going for the Sork Shoes, which I don't like. I'd really like to see Merc Treads, just for that extra MR and that tenacity. But I think, other than that, I really like the build. He's very tanky, but not tanky enough to survive the entirety of Team TITS coming down on him, though. So, fortunately, no real equal response by Team PSS. So, the Victor will go down. Now Team TITS will go ahead and move on to this Otacon. They can probably contest this. They're losing a lot of resistances because of this Otacon. Like, look at this. Blitzcrank has non-MR. Get in there. Fuck these guys up. I know Malphite's in your way. Malphite's scary. Mordekaiser's TPing in. You need to get going. Ooh. Need some Blitz Hook, but that's actually fine. If Sejuani is the one person you want to get hooked, now Mordekaiser's going to get in. You need to pull the jungler out of here. Actually, I don't mind him going for the Smolder here, but I preferred him ult the jungler so that his team can secure the Otacon. But now the rest of the fight's going to break out. He does kill the Smolder. Now he's going to return to the team fight in earnest. And this is very strong here, so he's going to go ahead and take over this team. But now that he's here, nice ulti in by Volibear. Not quite enough damage. Going to end up being a triple kill for the Aphelios. Did you know that Akali can no longer follow someone when they use TP? Is that true? Did they really remove that? That's wild. Did you try that? This fight? Is that what happened? I want to see the fight again because a lot happens here. I was a little distracted. And I already talked about I would have liked to have seen Malphite or Mordekaiser ult the Volibear here to get him out of the pit when the Otacon is low, but I think going for the Smolder is also fine. What's going on in the rest of the fight? So Sejuani gets in, and coming down to a smite fight, which Volibear does win. Now Akali's here on the back line, not quite able to finish off anybody though. Very, very close. Oh, the E ends up hitting the Aphelios instead of the low of Janus, so they both end up living. And now Victor's here as well, but they don't really need him. The fight's already won. And Blitzcrank is here backing in this bush, hoping to God they don't see him. And he's absolutely going to get away with it. Unless I have to use it earlier. Thanks for casting. Of course! Always a pleasure, except for when it isn't, but... Oh, because the TP, like, travels now. Yeah, maybe you have to, like... Yeah, maybe you have to use it. The timing is harder now. I actually don't know. I forgot because the TP is different now. I guess that mechanic would work differently. Yeah, I don't know. That would require testing to figure out exactly how that works. But yeah, one team fight for PSS, but lost the objective again. So the teams are basically coming out even though PSS is winning the fights. Ooh, nice hook on the Victor though. Is he gonna be able to escape? He will able to get the plant off. But now, Akali's going to go ahead and go in. Victor is tanky enough to survive, at least for now, but no Jan ulti yet to save him. And now Akali's on the back line, going to go ahead and take down the Janna as well. And Aphelios just kind of has to bail and hope and save his own skin on this play, because there's no point sticking around when there's Akali and Volibear with no protection. So it ends up being a very nice catch out by Team TITS on the Victor, and ends up parlaying it into getting 2 more picks as well. Right there, and they're going to go ahead and move in on this dragon. These picks are going to loom large, not only for the kills, obviously, but this will secure Mountain Soul for them as well. So huge play by Team TITS. Very questionable positioning by Human Bane over on the wall there. I get it. You just escape with the plant, but sometimes you get caught. Did he pull him? Is that what happened? I'm a little confused. Yeah, so they knew he was here, and he. Oh, he gets pulled over the wall. Okay, so got it. That's what happened. Okay, I see. My bad. I was flaming him for a little bit. So undeserved. So unfortunately, he got hooked there, but yeah, not as bad as just being there of his own volition. So, okay, my mistake. I'm not used to see. But yeah, overall, great play to Team TITS. They are still down in gold by about 2K, but obviously Mountain Soul is worth quite a bit. Mordekaiser trying to do this 1v2 here, but Akali, he ults the Akali, but Akali's able to just kite him out with Shroud. no problem. So yeah, definitely not who you want to ulti. No, you don't want to ult the Kali with Shroud if you can help it. A Smolder stack check at 190, so he should be at his 225 within the next 2 or 3 minutes. I will say, one nice benefit of the casting effect is you can fast forward through the slow bits just a little bit. You know, people are obviously here for the action. I don't know if we really need to watch people just AFK farming their lanes, but ooh, another very nice hook by the Blitzcrank. Doesn't get any sums from Janna, but does end up chunking her quite a bit. Nasher's Tooth second on Mordekaiser, by the way. This is an interesting choice. I don't think Nasher's Tooth is bad on Mordekaiser at all. I think it's actually quite good. Especially against ranged champions, because it makes you attack a lot faster, which means you run them down easier. Against this melee-heavy team, though, for Team TITS, I would have much preferred Riftmaker or Liandry's, just because you're kind of getting in the middle of everybody and getting the AoE and all that. So while I like the idea of the Nasher's Tooth in a vacuum, against this team specifically, you definitely want more of the AP Juggernaut items. So, I know, Slammer Jack, more flaming builds. What else is new? It's not even really flaming, it's just kind of talking about the thought process behind the builds. It's not being like, what the fuck, why'd you build that, idiot? You know, like, that's not the point. Ooh, nice little CC combo on Blitz, but that's really not how you want. And now the rest of it's going to break out. Malphite gets a great ulti here, and that's going to allow Akali to get onto the backline, but she doesn't have going down, and now Sejuani has to try to escape. Mordekaiser not really able to get into this fight the way he wants, doesn't have ulti, so he doesn't want to wait until the whole team ends up popping ulti on the Malphite. It gets him, but now he's there 1v3. I don't know if you want this, even if you're a big boy Mordekaiser. There's just so much CC here to fight through. Nasher's 2 and Liandry's 3 is fine. Yeah, I mean, I would have preferred the Liandry's first, and then Nasher's after. Or, you know, Riftmaker second, just to kind of be tankier and in the middle of these fights, because it's a 4 melee team, right? But yeah, I mean, I built Nasher's on Mordekaiser before. I think I built it in my Mordekaiser game, I believe, earlier in week 1, or week 2, whatever our first game was. But yeah, Smolder just almost there at the 225 stacks, and this game gets really... Oh, and also Liandry's in the Rift, but I think it's okay. Nasher second. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like against heavy melee teams. I think against ranged champions, I like Nasher's a lot, because all that attack speed means you orb walk so much faster, so you can just walk them down. Against melee heavy teams, I don't like it as much. At least not early. Game's still very close to about a 1K goal lead here for PSS. They're definitely, like, yeah, they gave up Dragon Soul, but their team scales really, really well with the Victor and the Aphelios. This is still very winnable. Because you're a meta slave because you go Hexplate. Yeah. See, this is one of the things where Hexplate's really good if you're against a ranged duelist that you need to run down. So like a Kaisa or a Kayle or like a Vayne or something. That's where Hexplate really shines, right? You ult them and then you run them down, you guaranteed win the 1v1. But again, in games like this where you kind of need the front line for your team, I don't like Hexplate. So I think foregoing it here is fine. Victor's going to go ahead and forego his life here in the bot lane. Akali fed enough to go ahead and 1v1 him despite all of that HP. Now Mordekaiser, ooh, wait, did he, hold on. I'm sorry to do this to you, Mr. Flametown Mayor. Do you fail the ult over the wall? Yep. And ends up going ahead and ends up having to blow the flash, but this is safety. But now his team's gonna have to fight without Malphite ulti, which is really not what you want. Mordekaiser here, go ahead and ulti the Smolder. Smolder has flash, he's gonna be able to stall for a while. And now yeah, I mean, look at what's happening when you're not here to help your team. I get the impulse to ult their backline and try to kill them, but look what happens when you're not here to help. So, and that's a really tough judgment call to make as Mordekaiser, right? Because you can ult and get your 1v1, but if it leaves your team defenseless, you probably don't want to do that, right? Now, it might not have mattered anyway for this team fight, regardless. But let's go ahead and actually look at the rest of the fight, because yeah, Janna, this Victor's already Wait, how did Victor die? Oh yeah, because Victor died in the bot lane, so Akali TP's up after Victor's already dead. So you're already down a guy as PSS. So yeah, at this point, you need to bail on this as much as you can. Fearless as hooks, you kind of just have to try to make the best of it. And yeah, because Mordekaiser's not there to help frontline, they just get collapsed on from both sides. I don't know if it would matter, to be honest. I know I'm giving them a lot. I'm talking a lot about the decision ulti, but it probably didn't matter. They got collapsed on by the Akali TP. The backline basically just got one shot. So if I'm Mord, I assume my TP can 4v4 against no Smolder and no Malfoy. Yeah. Victor being already being dead makes it. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Victor being dead already affected the fight a lot more than any decisions that were made after that. So yeah. This is just something to kind of think about in the future, right? Because like there were I played a game of Mordekaiser, my very first beer league game this season, and there were times where I ulted the enemy, and I absolutely should not have ulted the enemy in a team fight, and I kind of just made it easy for the enemy team because I was huge, right? So if you're really fed on Mordekaiser, you don't want to be 1v1ing there, 1v1ing someone. You want to be in the middle of the scrum. So the dot was for Stitch, not Slam. I mean, I'm used to being fucking flamed, but Chad, you don't have to do that. Yeah, game's still pretty close. Elder Dragon coming up here, though. And, ooh. Akali can go ahead and catch out the Janna trying to ward. That's going to be another one-shot. And so far, this Akali's paid a lot of dividends, getting a lot of picks before big fights. And now PSS in a really rough spire. They're without their support, and I don't think they can really fight without her. I wouldn't mind them trying to fight here with Mordekaiser ulti. This would be a good spot to Mordekaiser ult someone because it's not really a team fight, right? You just catch the Smolder and you kill him and then you back off. But alas, not quite able to do it. Now Team TITS presumably going to try to move in a position on this Elder Dragon here. And the thing about Elder Dragon is it takes a while to do, but it's not a particularly dangerous objective. It doesn't really like debuff you or anything as far as I'm aware. So you can just safely do it. Ooh, and now they're going to go ahead and start it while they're going to engage on the Sejuani here. Sejuani has to kind of slowly kite back. Mordekaiser here on the back is going to go for the, going to go ahead and ulti the Blitzcrank here for his own safety, I think, which I think is fine. That does buy some space for his backline to go ahead and do some stuff. Janna is now back. Aphelios is here, but he's pretty low. And if he's able to get in here, he's trying to tank the Akali, but this Akali is very fed, and obviously the Smolder is a late-game Smolder. And Volibear just does not give a fuck about this fight at all. He just keeps soloing the Dragon for the entirety of this team fight, which is very troll, but I think it ends up working out, because now he gets the Elder Dragon, and they should win this fight because of the Elder Dragon. But yeah, Pat Jones definitely should not have kept doing that while full-on team fight was breaking out right over here. He definitely should have stopped and gone to help his team. In the end, it doesn't end up being a 4-for-4, but it does secure Elder, so obviously you'll take that trade overall. Your Team TITS, you can use that to, although I guess you really only have the Elder on Volibear now. Granted, he's a very good user of Volibear. They have one Elder, though. Yeah. Does Elder Dragon still scale with dragons, by the way? Is that a thing? That the strength of the Elder buff scales with how many dragons you have? Is that still a thing, or did they remove that? I should actually look that up, because I really have no idea. Do you know, Fusro? Does Elder Dragon still scale with how many dragons you have? I actually have no idea. I think so? We'll look it up after the series. We'll find out together. Be part of the stream experience. We'll look up Elder Dragon. Or after the game, we'll look it up. Makes sense to me, but who knows? I know it was a thing for a while, but I feel like I haven't heard about it in a really long time, so I'm wondering if they just removed it. So, ooh, almost gets the hook on the Victor. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't hit. Mordekaiser and Malphite both fighting in the top lane. Aphelios does have his 3 items, so he's hit that 3-item spike I talked about during Champ Select, so he can definitely carry this game if he can stay upright, keep autoing. Even against a Smolder, I'd still probably take a late game Aphelios over a late game Smolder in terms of raw DPS, which is a wild thing to say, but it doesn't? Okay. I'll take your word for it that it doesn't, because I'm obviously not going to look up in the middle of the game. Not that I wouldn't, but I'm not going to do it here. Bit of a fight breaking out here. Mordekaiser are going to go ahead and ult the Malphite, but this Malphite's pretty tanky at this point, so even in the Death Realm, we can't ult him very quickly. And now he's going to come out of the Death Realm. That's going to be a kill on the Mordekaiser. It buffs the Drake bonuses that you do have while it's active? Okay, maybe that's what it was. I don't remember the exactitudes of how dragons work. I just know that they're good to get. It will be a nice pick on the Mordekaiser, but I don't know if anything's really going to come of it. Still no Leandries for the Mord. He ended up going to the tank out of after Leandries. His damage is not scaling quite as hard as you would think, just because he doesn't have that Leandries for the burn. So yeah, even though he's quite big, not as much damage as you would think. He is very tanky though. But that just means even more you don't want to ult for the 1v1, because now you're frontlining for your team, right? The more tanky you build, the less you want to ult for the 1v1. Ooh. Nice attempted pick on the Sejuani ult, but not quite able to land it. And now Human Bane, yeah, as soon as you miss the Sejuani ult, you just gotta back off. You don't get to keep doing that play. After you miss the ulti, you know? You just gotta just be like, alright, I missed the ulti, that sucks, then you back off, but no. And that will be the jungler mid going down, so this should be a free Baron for Team TITS in response because of that. And are they going to go ahead and do that? They will. They make the call. And now TITS kind of starting to run away with this game, I think. I think it's still winnable for PSS, but it is getting tougher. It is getting tougher. That Smolder's up to over 300 stacks now. You know, that dragon, what does that dragon execute at this point? 6.5% total health. So, plus the 8.7% max health true damage. Yeah, so that Smolder does a lot of damage. Probably not as much raw DPS as Aphelios, but Aphelios is obviously a lot less safe. Because the reason Smolder's so annoying is not only does he do great damage, but he just can go in and out, shoot a Q, back off, shoot a Q, back off. You know, he's kind of like a mage AD carry at that point. That's mobile, so it's really hard to get on him. Oh, and he is gonna. I was gonna say I wouldn't mind him trying to go for the Smolder here. He does, but ends up getting the ulti off and then misses the E. So he decides, you know what? Actually, I'm not gonna try to kill the Smolder here, which is probably the right call. I don't think he wins at that point. This Baron push makes me so sad. Yeah, there's not really a lot happening with it, is there? Not a lot coming out of it. They're going to go ahead and catch the Sejuani here out here, though. She should go down. I don't see any way she feasibly escapes this. And she will not. And now they're finally getting a push down in the top lane. Now they're going to go ahead and flank, and I like this. Lands the EQ on the Smolder. You need to be going in, brother. You built tank for a reason. You got teammates to help. Why you get in on the Smolder? They still end up getting him. It's fine, but they could probably be getting both here. However, Team TITS, during all the distractions, is going to go ahead and get their second Elder Dragon of the game. And their team's actually going to get it this time, so they're going to have 4 members with the Elder Dragon. Unfortunately, not the Smolder, although ironically, he probably benefits the least from it, which is kind of amusing. Yeah, about a 4K gold lead. It doesn't really matter that much this late in the game. Everyone's full build or close to it. Yeah, Rift Maker, final item for Mordekaiser. So no Leandries against all these tanks. I definitely don't like that. Definitely want the Leandries for the AoE burn. So, but I think, yeah, I would have preferred it over the Nashor's Tooth, to be honest. But, you know, he's had this as a Nashor's Tooth for, what, 15, 20 minutes? He's only done 1,000 damage. It's not terrible, but definitely would have preferred Leandries. Unfortunately, 08, or Mordekaiser's going to go ahead and call her on the sideline. He definitely should not be here at this junction in the game. You're just asking to get collapsed on, which is exactly what's going to happen. And he's going to end up trying to win the 1v2 with the ulti, but he will not. And now they actually have the 1v2 here, so does PSS try to go for a play here? They should. Even against Elder, I think this is their best shot. Unfortunately, they're going to have the play made on them instead. Nice, very nice blitz hook on the Victor, and that's going to be all she wrote here for game 2, I think. And so, honestly, the blitz play killed it. So, I played Papa Grog here a little bit early on in the game, but overall, he's been killing it on Blitzcrank. He's made a lot of really big hooks that have changed the course of this game. So, well played to him. Blitzcrank players are always very eyebrow raising because it's very easy for that champion to just kind of be useless, but it was definitely not useless this game. He did a great job. So made a lot of picks for his team. And yeah. And honestly, props to the Malphite as well for holding out as well as he did in the side lane against Mordekaiser. Like, at some point you expect Mordekaiser to just start outright winning that, but it never really happened. So yeah, well done to both of them, and obviously, you know, Simeon Amos, 15 kills on the Akali, pretty good. Got a lot of picks. Still no Darksteel though, so I'm gonna flame him for that. But yeah, great rebound game here by Team TITS, so they're gonna go ahead and force a game 3. All right, so let me go ahead and get started here for game 3. They switch sides once again, as they love to do. That is their favorite thing. So switch sides after every game, so I have to keep redoing the names. If First Blood gave 350 gold, I'd have a Darksteel. Exactly. One is you get it after your first pack, not First Blood, but I digress. All right. So go ahead and look at game 3 here. They are switching sides, so PSS once again on blue side, TITS on red. Same bands as usual. One of the bands didn't load through. I don't know what it was or what it was supposed to be. We didn't swap sides, you fool of a took. Yes, you did. Unless I'm looking at the wrong game 3 draft. Rumble was the ban? Okay. Got it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and look at the game here. Braum first pick for PSS. Actually, hold on. They didn't swap sides, but they swapped sides on the draft link. Did they put the wrong sides? Yeah, because based off the bands, it looks like it's Team TITS on the left and PSS on the right, but that's not what it shows on the draft. So I think they messed up who was on which side in the draft lol. Okay, got it. So they confused me because I assumed they did their job properly, but they did not. So shocker that someone in Beer League messed something up. It might have just been draft lol messing up too, to be fair. So just go ahead and blame draft lol. It's a believable excuse. Okay. So I was gonna say, like, this team comp looks weird for Team TITS, but it makes way more sense for this one. So yeah, we didn't notice. Still drafting fine. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Blame 8 p.m. All right, fair enough. I will. All right, so we have Braum first pick. Interesting first pick. Maokai Olaf. So presumably a support Maokai, but we'll see. And Lucian to go with the Braum. Classic pick. And then Jax could be flexed either top or jungle. Big flex pick these days. You see a lot more jungle than top these days, I think. And then Zachary, again, you could be a flex pick for the Olaf. I assume it's Olaf top and Zach jungle, but it really could go either way. And then Vayne for the bot lane to go with the Maokai, I assume. And then Poppy, yeah, Poppy Jax, flex pick as well. And then Aurelion Sol, last pick, lock in for PSS. I do like this a lot. He's already seen 3 big beefy boy tanks. So I really like the Aurelion Sol pick here. Obviously, it's still a blind pick, so we'll see how he actually handles the mid lane matchup. But in terms of picking against the enemy team, they really needed big DPS, anti-tank DPS, and they got it in the Aurelion Sol. So I really like this pick. As long as they can keep them clean. That's the hard part. Keeping them clean against a Zach Olaf Maokai is a tough assignment. But Braum is a tough guy, and Poppy is pretty strong as well. So we'll see if they can manage it in the actual game. And then Seraphine last pick. I guess this is a mid lane Seraphine. You don't see that very often, but I don't know who else will be mid on this team. So I guess we'll see once we load in. But yeah, let's go ahead and load into game 3 here. All right. And we'll go ahead and switch to the in-game overlay, and here we go. All right, so we figured out where it will be Zac top versus Poppy top. Okay, so probably the less likely option of the two for both sides, but I think it's fine either way.
Welcome to Summoner's
We blamed 8
Rift.
We blamed 8 p.m. in our comms. That's funny. That's funny.
30 seconds until
And yeah, Seraphine
spawn.
mid. Oh, I forgot. Human Band, I realized I didn't answer your question. Is it worth going Darksteel on first back or just holding off for 1,200 gold to go last chapter? New to Melee, so make episode go. So the answer to that question is, if you can get the full 1,200 and back, I think you just get lost chapter. If you can't get the full 1,200, like let's say you have like 1,100, 1,150, or 1,050, something like that, Amp Tome, Mana Crystal, Darksteel, in my opinion. If you can get full Lost Chapter or like a full item somehow, do that. But if you can't, get Darksteel, regardless of what you get. So that's just my opinion. That's usually how I do it. Bit of an early fight breaking out here. Olaf very level 1, very strong obviously, so they end up having to run. It's gonna be Brilliant Soul's flash early and his TP as well. He's gonna have to TP back to lane. Try to get a stacking early. Well, it's that, but it's also just like the reason Darksteel is so good is like even with 0 stacks, Darksteel is a really efficient item, like stats wise. It's like what, like 40 HP and 15 MR or 15 AP for 350 gold. It's only a little bit worse than Doran's Ring for 50 less gold. So I think it's just a very nice bundle of stats, even if you don't stack it at all. So the upside, the stacking is just the upside. It's just nice to have in general, right? Like it's kind of comparable to Cole, but not only does Cole cost more, it doesn't even do as many stats. So I think Cole's a little hard to justify. But Darksteel, if you are an AP build champ, whether it's like a mage mid, a mage bot, AP jungler, I'd recommend getting Darksteel every game. Meanwhile, as I'm blabbering about that, I do a whole lot of dying, so it's going to be base stats. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously less value if you're not keeping the stacks up, but I think it's fine even if you don't keep the stacks up. So that's kind of my point. Yeah, okay, so what happened here? I was busy babbling about Darksteel. So Pat Jones is going for a greedy early invade on the blue buff, but he is seen by this ward, so he ends up having to flash to get out. Does he end up dying here? No, he does end up escaping. So he does steal blue buff, but that's going to cost him quite a bit. Actually, what? Yeah, so he went Raptor straight to blue buff, but they knew he was there. Okay. And yes, obviously the last thing I'll say on the Darksteel for now. Hold on. Actually, hold on. There's going to be action, so I'll say it after this. Well, going to go for this thing, but I don't think he saw the Jax get into this bush. He's going to see him now, though. And does Jax might win this just because of Counter-Strike? And he will. So yeah, if you're a random hero, you needed to flash away and not get stunned there to win that. And I get it. It was a really fast fight. It was hard to judge. Honestly, you might not be able to see the health bars because of how close they were to each other, but if you get stunned there, you lose. So when you're that low. So yeah, I needed to flash away, try to outplay. But yeah, nice little recovery for Jax, to be honest. I get why Olaf did that, trying to punish the lack of invade, but it probably would have been better to just farm his own jungle, get the tempo back, rather than trying to cheese the Jax. So, but I'm also a pretty conservative jungler, so that's just my opinion. Go ahead and pop the Zac Tasm here. Not gonna be able to kill, I don't think. No. The last thing I will say about Darksteel is that the better your champion is at contributing to team fights with safely, the better Darksteel is, right? Because it makes it easier to keep your stacks. So I always build out a Morgana because it's really easy for Morgana to contribute to fights without being in danger. So, or if you're like a Lux, or you know, one of these really safe mid lane mages that can play from really far away and can lose fights without dying, Darksteel 100%. Obviously also really going to AP Assassins as well. So like, I think Seaman Amos would have been a lot stronger last game if he had that Darksteel with all those kills he was getting. But, so yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. TLDR, get the Dark Seal. Set up a gank coming in here. Flash, or Flash W on the Lucian. Not quite able to CC him long enough for Olaf to get in range, so they will be fine. Ooh, nice stun to the wall, but in the end, nothing's going to come of it. Oh my goodness. I've been talking too much. I'm going to shut the fuck up. Yeah, plus a little bit. After I check the runes. Runes look pretty straightforward here across the board, except for the Conqueror Seraphine. I've never seen that before. I'm assuming that was an accident. I will let you tell me in the chat if that was indeed an accident to go Conqueror, to go Conqueror Seraphine. So, and yeah, Conqueror Zack's a little interesting too, but I think that makes a little more sense because you're really tanky. So, in the end, it didn't matter. Yeah, I said I'm gonna shut up and immediately start ranting. PSS is gonna go ahead and move on to the dragon here. Should be able to get it because the TITS Brawlade is resetting. Yeah, Conqueror Zack I don't mind. Conqueror Seraphine, that is an eyebrow raiser for sure. He said it was on purpose. He was cooking. I mean, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but that just seems questionable to me. Actually, do you have to get enemy champions to stack Conqueror? I'm actually curious about that. Deal damage to enemy champion. Okay, so you can't like shield your whole team and get 10 Conqueror stacks. That would be a different story. Okay, Conqueror, Seraphine's hidden tech, you watch. Okay, so it was on purpose. Okay, alright, we'll see it. Let's see it after the game. We'll see it during the game, brother. We'll check the rune stats after the game to see if it was indeed the tech. Ooh. Hold on. Wait. Zack tries to go for the Q on the Poppy. And did she just kill him? Did that pop W? Does that count as a dash for Zack, or did he just take damage? I'm gonna watch it one more time, then I promise I'll move on. Okay, so okay, yeah, he just dies from the Poppy Q. Okay, I thought, like, maybe for some reason that counted as a dash for Zack, but no. It was just the Poppy Q damage, which does a lot of damage, so fair enough. Poppy's both of Poppy's Q hits do the same damage, so I don't know why they specify that the damage twice. But I digress. Olaf gonna try to come to clean up the Poppy, but Olaf just ends up knocking him away. No hope for Olaf yet, obviously, so not able to avoid the CC here. Defeated war for over 14 TITS early game, which is not what you'd expect from more of a scaling team, but that's what has happened. And I'll be honest, I hate Zack top with a passion. So seeing Zap top getting his ass beat right now is very satisfying to me. So, sorry to 08 PM here. Not cheering against you, I'm cheering against Zack top. So, but it's very satisfying to see you get your ass beat by this Poppy. Ooh, nice ulti by the Seraphine. Lands the charm on the ice. He'll have to blow a flash to escape. But that will be enough to secure grubs here. For PSS, that will be both early objectives here for them. Great start to the early game despite giving up the 3 kills. Very nice roam by the Seraphine here. Goth gets there before the Braum. Now a bit of an all-in here in the bot lane, but Vayne will win that. With no support interference, she will win that 1v1 against the Lucian at this point. No, he's cheering against you. Who left Stitch unattended bot lane? Indeed. Please keep an eye on your Stitch at all times. So this is a I mean, Zac ends up winning this 1v1, which is fucking crazy. All that Zac healing from picking up these blobs is why I hate Zac top. Yeah, not quite able to get the jump off though, so it will be a kill for the Jax. Good job by Pat Jones here. Well, okay, it should be a killer for the Jax. It's gonna be a killer for the Jax, right? It's gonna be a killer for the Jax. Okay, yes. It is indeed a kill for the Jax. Thank you. And now the junglers are gonna have a bit of a duel here. Jax has already used all of his cooldowns during the. Oh no, he still has ulti, so but he has no HP, so Olaf is just gonna go ahead and right-click him. Doesn't even have to pop ulti, so good job. Ohana means family. Oh god. Quoting Disney movies at me. Okay, so hold on. Stop. Oh, 8 p.m. Why are you building the magic damage Sunfire right now? This is a physical damage jungler, a physical damage top laner, and a physical damage AD carry. The only AP damage on their team is their Brilliant Soul. Why are you rushing MR? This is the one time you should be rushing the regular old Sunfire cape. Pay attention to the matchups, people. Make sure you get your first item right. It makes a big difference. I mean, maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe he 1v1s. Maybe he 1v1s the Poppy even while rushing armor. But so, I hope be able to survive another League Light cast. Yeah, maybe not. My God, I had to critique all these item builds. It's breaking my brain a little bit. Everyone else's looks pretty solid though, so I don't have anything to say about anybody else's. Oh, I should have called this out earlier because I did see it. Executioner's calling rush on Poppy against Zac. 100% correct. They are more fun, aren't they? They are, in a lot of ways, yes, the Beer League Light matches are more fun to cast. I will say that. There's more opportunities to teach, but also there's just a lot more random chaos to the match. But yes, getting this against Zac, 100% correct. Zac heals more in combat than basically any other champion. So getting the Grievous Wounds Rush, I love it. Good job to the Poppy. Building that. Good situational awareness. Cortana wants agreement for next year to only build Dark Shields and Sunfires. Oh my god. That would be something. Right now, game pretty close. 800 gold lead here for PSS. Both top laners in top lane. Zac does have TP, but it might be hard to get it off with the Poppy breathing down his neck right now. Aurelion Soul, is he anywhere close to this big ulti? Is there a way to tell, Inspector Client? I don't know if there is. But he does not have it, so... Oh! Jackson of getting caught up by the Maokai ulti, and Braum is jumping in and trying to save them, but not quite enough, and now the rest of the fight's going to break out. Vayne and Seraphine are both going to go nuts here. Zac is going to go ahead and TP in. Really didn't need to. His team's got this firmly under control, but I get it. I was like 5 off? Okay. So it was close. That's tough. Yeah, unfortunate Jax got caught there. Probably should have just let him die instead of trying to have Braum try to save him, but it's hard to make that decision in the heat of the moment. So I don't blame him for trying to be a good teammate. But that will be a team fight win and a dragon here for PSS. Okay, so apparently Seraphine is the hidden Aurelion Soul counter. Oh my god, look at that damage. Every time this Aurelion Soul plants, Seraphine just throws all her abilities at him. Oh my god, look at that damage. Woo! Yeah, every time A-Soul stops moving to start farming minions, she just... Oh my god. Jesus. I mean, I don't know how much credit I could give to Conqueror on that one, buddy. You don't even have it stacked up when you kill him. What do you mean, Conqueror? I guess it does. It does. Does that count as 2 sets of 2 stacks, by the way? I'm actually curious about that. Well, let's see. So, Q. So, QQ. Yeah, okay, that does double stack Conqueror. Interesting. Okay. It felt fully stacked, for sure. My god, that's Seraphine damage. Yeah, okay. I mean, if your double casts can stack Conqueror twice, honestly, I can kind of see it. He hasn't gotten any healing from it yet, but that doesn't necessarily matter. If you hit multiple champions with an ability, does that count? Can you stack Conqueror multiple times if you hit, like, let's say you hit 2 champions with your double E, does that give you 8 stacks? Because if it works that way, then okay, I can kind of see the Conqueror. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting indeed. I think so. Okay. All right. I see the vision. So I don't know if it's worth it, but I do see the vision, and I do think the precision tree is really good on Seraphine. So if Conqueror is even just okay on Seraphine, I think this is fine. So okay. Honestly, I have no idea. Saw it on Cheeseville online. Figured I'd send it. Okay. Yeah. No. Fair enough. No, I can respect that. I can respect that. About a 2k gold lead here for PSS. Plus 2 dragons as well, so they're in a very good spot already. They already have Monster Hunter. Because they got the 3 grubs and the 2 dragons, so they just need to get first tower here, and defeats will be theirs, but obviously will also be PSS or Team Tits if they can get a dragon or a tower, so I guess whoever gets tower. Lethal Tempo Seraphine, oh my god. That would be crazy. Lethal Tempo Seraphine. You gotta use that passive stacks, right? Jesus. That would be something. Yeah, look at that. Every time Aurelion Sol tries to farm with his Q and E, he just gets absolutely blasted by the Seraphine. My goodness. That is... I would not have expected the Seraphine hard counter of the Aurelion Sol mid, but it's kind of looking like it so far. Sheesh. He's kind of grouping here on the Rift Herald. Numbers advantage here early on, because yeah, the support for Team Tits is bot lane still, so they do have the numbers advantage. They're going to go ahead and engage on the Jax, and they do have the big Aurelion Sol ulti here, but with the numbers advantage, I don't think it matters. Nice block by the Poppy though on the Zac engage, but it's in the end they're just going to have to concede this objective here because their support is down bot lane. Are they trying to dive Vayne here though? No, but they are pressuring the tower. If they get the tower out of this, I'm actually okay with it. Get the tower. The tower is more important than the kill, because you'll get feats of strength if you get this tower. So please, Team Tits bot lane, recognize the situation and get this. And good job by good ulti by Aurelion Sol here to try to stall, but not quite enough. The Rift Herald is going to take down the first tower in mid, so that will be feats of strength over for PSS. So it was close. If they hadn't started that dive on Vayne, I think, and had to back off, I think they would have got it. But in the end, it ended up being very close, but the Rift Herald ended up making the difference. And now Zac kind of getting his ass beat here once again by the Poppy. Can he escape? Ooh, tries to turn. I feel like if you're Poppy, you just tank that with W and win, right? But I mean, Jesus Christ, look at this Zac healing. Oh my god. But at least he makes up for it by not having mana, right? Right. I didn't realize how close that was. Yeah, it ended up being very close, probably within like 2 or 3 seconds. So yeah, a little unfortunate. Not the best situational awareness by the Team Tits bot lane, but I think it would have been close either way. As it stands, it will be feats of strength over for PSS. Spirit. Okay, so I know I flamed you for rushing MR. I didn't realize you were going to rush it into a Spirit Visage. I actually hate this less because Spirit Visage is a busted-ass item on Zac. I still think it's really weird that you rushed the MR item early as the Poppy and a Jax, but I do like using it to make a Spirit Visage instead of the MR Sunfire. So at least you. Okay. Yeah. That was an odd build, but I like the turn of the turn here. So Obviously, Zach way ahead of the Poppy. Poppy had to use that 800 gold to buy the Executioners and the Merc chest, so she's going to be a while before she gets her first item. And then PSS is going to go ahead and take her dragon, because they're already at soul point in 17 minutes. Had us in the first half. I still don't like it that he rushed MR, but at least the MR he rushed, he used for Spirit Decision, not for the Enmar Sunfire. He's going to go ahead and get ganked and bopped, though. Some extra armor might have been in handy in that situation, but I don't think it would have mattered. But, you know, I got to rub it in the wound there. But he ends up going down. They should be able to get the tower here, but they're going to go ahead and try to engage in return. Olaf, ooh, Olaf, buddy, you got to ult that. You got to reactively ult that and not get hit. In the end, I don't think it matters. They end up getting the Braum. I don't think they were ending up getting the Lucian anyway, but yeah, if you got big CC coming at you when you're Olaf, you ult that bitch. And keep running right through it. We have PSS in a great spot. 3k gold lead on soul point. They're definitely the better scaling comp. Well, actually, are they the better scaling comp? They are against an Aurelion Soul and a Jax. But they also have Seraphine and Vayne. I don't know. I'm going to call it a wash for who scales better, honestly. I'm going to call it even. And Braum going to go ahead and get a little bit caught out here by the Olaf, and unfortunately no minions to jump to quite yet, so he's going to go down. Indeed he will. Stack check on the Aurelion Soul, 192 already. 10 stacks per minute is pretty good for Aurelion Soul. 08 PM needs a little flamed. I mean, I've been flaming him nonstop this entire game. Just for picking Zach top. But, and the build, but he's doing well. I mean, Zach is still a really useful champion, no matter what, which is why I hate him. Yeah. Okay. Every time he tries to farm, that wasn't even a double cast. That was just a regular E and a regular Q that did almost half his HP. My goodness. My goodness. Team TITS kind of grouping up here around Otacon. They do have the numbers advantage for now. I'd like to see them kind of go for a play. Aurelion Soul, no TP. Seraphine does have TP, but she's backing. Aurelion Soul does have the big ulti, so I'd like to see him reset and fly his way up here through the portal. See if he can find a good engage for his team. With that big ult. And remember, you never want to be the one to start Otacon in this situation, unless you have a massive numbers advantage. But it shreds the crap out of you, and if you get engaged on when you're doing Otacon, you're almost certainly going to lose. If the fight is even close. So, do not start it. Alright, and all Team TITS is here. This is actually a good spot. Vayne is not here. It's going to land the advanced Aurelion Soul ult. 3-man huge ult on the backline, and now the rest of his team is in there as well, and Team PSS is going to get absolutely wiped here because Vayne's not around. Ends up going around the Aurelion Soul and has to flank, but ooh, yeah, it ends up getting a 4 for nothing, and now they're going to go back in, and that is probably not what you want. If you're Braum, you're going to end up going down, but they will end up taking the Vayne in exchange, and that's up being a 5-for-1 in favor of Team TITS. Phenomenal and catch here in the jungle. Great 3-man ulti by the Aurelion Soul to follow up the engage, and a huge fight for Team TITS that should secure the Otacon here as well. Oof, that was harder to watch than to play. Oh. Okay. And Aurelion Soul does now have the Tractor Beam tech with the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, which makes Aurelion Soul much more annoying to fight against. PSS going to go ahead and go for Dragon Soul here, but Team TITS is here. They don't have the big ulti this time, but they can probably still contest this. They're going to go ahead and try to rush it before Jax gets in, and they're going to get it. Olaf will secure the Dragon Soul for PSS. And Jax kind of ends up getting caught out and getting CC trained. Ends up going down. Now the rest of Team TITS just have to try to kite this out as best they can. They do get Olaf. But Vayne, obviously this team very good at chasing with the Vayne, the Seraphine, and the Zac. So if you take a fight that looks bad, I don't think you're gonna be able to get away. It will be a 4-for-1 in favor of PSS plus the Dragon Soul. So much better play for them that time.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, about a 2.5K gold lead for them, but the real lead is in the Dragon Soul. Plus these turrets that they're getting. And I think if you're Team TITS here, you just need to let A-Soul farm for another big ulti and then try to fight with that. That's really the only way you really win a straight-up team fight, I think. So you just gotta play around the A-Soul, Skies Descend ults. And I don't know, unfortunately I don't know how close he is, but he's there now. Unfortunately, Braum is gonna get caught out here, trying to ward the pit, hanging around here a little too long, gets caught up from behind. Poppy's not here either, so Braum's just gonna go down for free. Please do not use this Aurelion Soul ult here. Please don't. Okay, good. He does not use the ulti. No point using it on a Dune fight. Just save it for next time. Now Jack's going to go ahead and get caught here. Still not using the ult, which is good. Now he's popping the ulti. That's going to be a nice 3-man ulti, but there's not really a lot of follow-up for it. Poppy's not here, so yeah, the ult was nice, did a lot of damage, but his carries don't do it. His other rest of his team doesn't do any damage, so not really able to follow up on the nice Aurelion Soul ulti. And Zac doing a good job here in the bot lane of not letting Poppy TP to help her team in this fight. PSS going to go ahead and take their team by a win. They're going to go ahead and take the Baron. Yeah, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate timing for Braum to get caught there right before Baron spawns. They kind of just pushed their team in a really bad spot. You kind of just have to maybe group as 4, try to contest if they do it, but they were kind of disorganized. It's just really tough. That's why I don't ward, by the way. Because warding is dangerous. So I let the support do it, and if it get caught, I say GG support div. Not really, but but that is part of why I don't ward, honestly, is because it's a good way. It's really dangerous to ward later in the game. And unfortunately, Lucian's gonna get caught again. He's actually gonna cut off the Aurelion Soul, so no escape for him. And now the rest of Team TITS is going to get flanked from both sides by the Olaf and the rest of his team. And that's going to be a quadra kill for the Vayne. And yeah, GG support div coming in, forcing me to Moss. Is that going to be a pentakill for the Vayne? It will indeed be a pentakill for the Vayne. Okay, so PSS will end up taking the series. Honestly, very back and forth. But yeah, PSS made enough big plays in both first and third games to take it. So well played to them. Their record goes up to whatever, and TITS' record goes down to who cares. And I joke, but they all make playoffs anyway, right? So do the regular season records really matter for Beer League Light? Does anyone even pay attention? You just want to make playoffs. But yeah, I guess that'll be it. I know where we are in the standings. There we go. In the top 4. There you go. You're in the top 4, so you'll make the playoffs. Good job. Piss Boys won last year without winning a single regular season series. Is that actually true? You guys not won a single series? That's crazy if that's true. But yeah, that'll be it. Good job to PSS. I know I think there's still one more series that needs to be casted, I believe. It is it's the series I just played in. 2 versus Jat. That was played yesterday. So hopefully someone will grab that. Before, I believe the patch is on Wednesday. The patch should be in a couple days. So I know Nightmare talked about casting it. I know Simina Moss talked about casting it as well. As long as somebody grabs it before the patch tomorrow night, that would be cool. And yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. And have a good night. Bye-bye.